troopers to my WWE vlog. I am Daniel Parkin and I am here to give you my review of Raw on the 21st of February 2011, which to most WWE fans is a very popular date for one reason, as we'll go into later on in the video. Off the back of a quite good Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in my opinion, I was really hoping for Raw to live up today, and with the return of whoever it is going to be, who we'll find out later in the video in 21-11, I thought that they could really deliver here. But the opening segment, we started off with John Cena come out. John Cena came out and addressed The Rock's comments in his own little special John Cena way. And then all of a sudden he started bringing back his old Thugonomics gimmick and starts rhyming. And I must admit, some of his rhymes were pretty good, but you could tell they were a bit scripted. He wasn't really rhyming; he was more talking. So we had that for the first 15 minutes. It was okay. It was funny at times, but it's just typical John Cena. It's good seeing him going back to his old ways. I'll just go and say that. After that kind of dragging segment a little bit, we found out that Micheal Cole's going to interview Jerry Lawler later tonight, and then we had the John Morrison CM Punk match. And one thing that struck me about this match is they were both really selling their Elimination Chamber injuries, which is good to see because you don't really see that too much in WWE anymore, and it makes it seem a bit more realistic and less fake in a way. In the match, CM Punk constantly went after John Morrison's knee. I was really hoping John Morrison was going to win this, but CM Punk picked up the victory with the GTS over what seemed like a very injured John Morrison after he smashed his knee numerous times in the Elimination Chamber yesterday. But like I said, it's good to see them selling their injuries properly, and CM Punk gets the victory. After the match, CM Punk's in the ring and he's cutting a promo, calls out Randall Orton, using his real name. He says that he's given the Nexus the night off, which I think we pretty much all knew was bullshit. He goes on about their previous rivalry and how he punted him in the head and didn't allow him to compete for his title because of that punt in the head. He basically challenges Orton to come out, and Orton comes out and attacks CM Punk, but Orton manages to evade the attack. CM Punk manages to evade the attack by rolling out the ring. And then all of a sudden, right on cue, Nexus come out, but they didn't actually go in and attack Orton, which I was expecting they'd just go in and attack Orton, but they didn't do that. I think it's kind of good because we keep seeing Nexus attacking people, and it's just getting a bit samey and boring now and predictable. And I'm glad they didn't. And I think it's really spicing the rivalry up between CM Punk and Orton. We know this is going to be a match at WrestleMania, so it's good for Orton to have his times on top, as it's going to fuel the rivalry a little bit more rather than Nexus always getting their own way. After that little segment, we had Alberto Del Rio coming out, of course, in his new $250,000 Lamborghini, which was a fucking nice car. I would love to have that car if I was Alberto Del Rio. As he's walking out to the ramp, he's probably coming out for a match. We didn't know, but Kofi Kingston comes out and attacks him, and then all of a sudden Ricardo Rodriguez comes out and allows Alberto Del Rio to get the upper hand. And then Alberto Del Rio does his usual, damage to the arm thing and applies his cross arm breaker, and that's pretty much that. Alberto Del Rio getting more Raw exposure and more pushes, and he then, when the referees are attending to Kofi, then goes back and attacks him again. So, they're really pushing Alberto again there. Again for Kofi, maybe have them for the Intercontinental title at some point. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but it's just another way of WWE pushing Alberto Del Rio at the moment. And next up we had the Miz. The Miz come out and done a promo. He has his little response to The Rock. He asked the crowd if he thinks he sucks. Of course, the crowd responds with a big fat yes. Really? Yes. Really? And he says that about 5 times. It's ridiculous. During this promo, as Miz is going on and on and on, as he usually does, I don't like Miz promos. They're just awful. The Raw GM makes a match. He makes this John Cena and Miz versus the Corre for the tag team title match as the main event. We've seen this in previous years with John Cena and Shawn Michaels, John Cena and Batista teaming up like potential the WrestleMania main event, teaming up to be tag team champs. So that was going to be our main event. That was a little bit bad considering we've got this big return coming up and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really want to see that as a main event. I want to see the return as the main event. And then we have a pointless Divas match. We have the Bella Twins, who are now trying to be heel, who no one cares about, versus Eve and Gail Kim. And the Bellas win, And I'm just going to say a couple of things here. This was the pointless and stupid match. What was the point in having this match? Can I just say, where's Beth Phoenix? You know, where's Natalya? Where are your main guy? Where are your main Divas wrestlers? And also, where is Awesome Kong? Is it about time that they, you know, is this about time they bring in Awesome Kong? You know, where are all these you know, supposedly good Divas? You know, where are they wrestling now? You know, what are they doing? You know, I'm really finding it difficult seeing Eve as a credible champ. I mean, I just don't see her being a credible champ. And in this match, she didn't exactly look like the most credible champ either. So that's all I'm going to say about the Divas match. Because next up, you know, this is before the 21-11 thing. We see the clock counting down, and then as the clock counts down to 0, we see Undertaker appearing on the promo video, and then he comes out to his music in the arena. So we get to see the return of Undertaker. We kind of knew it was going to happen, but it's still good to see him back. He comes down and does his 5-minute walk down to the ring, as he usually does, to waste time. And just as he's celebrating in the ring, all of a sudden we hear Triple H's music going off. Now, again, a lot of people predicted it, but I was a little bit shocked in the fact I didn't expect him to return so quickly after Undertaker came out. I expected something on the mic or maybe something like that. But you know, he comes out, he gets way more of a pop than Undertaker does, which you know, I prefer Triple H over Undertaker, but you know, I don't. With Triple H's entrance, he was going to get more of a pop because it's more of an exciting entrance, whereas Undertaker's is just his little sort of walk down to the ring. So Triple H gets more of a pop there. They go into the ring and signal for their WrestleMania match, which we all know they're going to have now that this promo is aired. They both look at the WrestleMania sign and they both taunt each other. So they don't actually say anything, but you know what they're. Although I thought this was a bit bland, you know, I didn't really think this was very entertaining as such. But it was good to see like how they didn't need any mic work to actually show what they were going to do. Which was kind of good to see. So there we got you know, 2 big returns. We got Undertaker and Triple H, and we think they're going to have a match at WrestleMania now. So, you know, again, that whole thing, it's good to see. You know, it's been well built up, but I kind of expected a little bit more than that. Although what I saw, I was very content with seeing. So that's just my thoughts on that. You know, if you guys have any thoughts, just put it in the comment section below, of course. And then we had a Sheamus versus Mark Henry match. Surprised, and then Mark Henry wins it. You know, I was surprised. I after Sheamus has done King of the Ring, they just haven't used him right at all. And this is just more proof. Although I'm glad they're making Mark Henry win because he deserves a push every now and then. He never really gets a constant push, but for them to do this, for them to work Sheamus like this, it just isn't working for me. And now they're showing him as this frustrated guy. As he had a backstage segment with Daniel Bryan, and you know, where he got angry with him, blah 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 blah. So that was that match. The match itself wasn't very good. He won by World's Strongest Slam. It was an average match. We then had the big segment between Micheal Cole and Jerry Lawler. Micheal Cole said that he was going to, you know, be the bigger man, put his differences aside, and interview Jerry Lawler, ask the pertinent questions, as he put it. During the interview, he asked you know, questions like, you know, how does it feel to lose to The Miz and have your dreams shattered? But he goes way too far when he mentions his Jerry Lawler's mother. You know, I couldn't believe he said that. I mean, he got a lot of heat from it, you know, but you know, I can't believe he mentioned that. That was just a bit out of line in my opinion. You know, and then Jerry Lawler grabs him and says, you know, if you mention my mother again, you know, I'm going to make sure you know about it. And then we get the eventual thing that we kind of thought this might lead up to. We get Lawler issuing a challenge to Micheal Cole at WrestleMania, saying that he's going to have his WrestleMania moment, but in a way in which he doesn't care if he gets fired or not. And Cole, of course, runs away, says he's not going to do this, and then he throws water in Lawler's face. Lawler asks if he's going to be a man. We all know Micheal Cole isn't a man; he's a bloody twat. So yeah, we had, you know, that segment, and we think this is going to lead to a WrestleMania match between Lawler and Micheal Cole. Cole chucks water in Lawler's face and he runs off, and that's the end of that segment. So the one great thing that came out of that is we didn't have Micheal Cole on commentary anymore. We had Jerry Lawler and Josh Matthews, which was great to see. And also, yeah, so Cole was just way out of order in that, in my opinion. I mean, that's just my opinion. Mentioning Jerry's mother, I just didn't see why he did that. It was really out of order. The main event of the evening, I just can't believe this. Why was this the main event when you had two returns with Undertaker and Triple H return? Why was this match the main event? I don't understand. You got John Cena and The Miz versus the Corre, Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel for the tag team titles. Now, why is this been made the main event when you've got something as big and as built up as the 2/21/11 return and the Triple H return as well? Which a couple of people probably wouldn't have expected. Okay, I'll just go through this match. I didn't really agree with this match, but Miz and Cena win Miz and Cena win the match, win the tag team titles, celebrate in the ring. Then the Corre invoke their the Corre invoke their rematch clause, and the Raw GM comes on, and there's no Micheal Cole. So Josh Matthews comes up and does his little version of Van Dyke quote and says, "The Raw general manager says, ring the bell." So obviously they get their rematch clause, and in the end, the Miz turns on John Cena and costs them the match. I don't feel like he really cares. It was just his way of getting a bit of revenge on John Cena. So yeah, the Corre, I think rightfully the Corre are still the tag team champs. But I can't. Why was this the main event? I don't get it. I really don't get it. So yeah, so that was pretty much Raw summed up. We had the big return of Undertaker, which was the main bit of Raw for me. You had the Undertaker return and the Triple H return. It was really good to see. You've got a lot of build up now going to WrestleMania, which is good. It's good to see John Morrison and CM Punk selling their injuries as well. Divas match sucked, of course. So my overall opinion of Raw is it's doing a great job to transition from Elimination Chamber to WrestleMania now. Although some of the matches weren't very good, there was a lot of promo stuff in there, which kind of was time filling and it wasn't the best of stuff. But the returns was good, and we know what we're going to have as our main event at WrestleMania. We're going to have Triple H versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, which we think might be a career versus street match, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my Raw review. Raw was okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. But tell me what you think of Raw, of course. Leave your comments on the comment section below. What did you think of the matches, the promos, the big return of Undertaker? Did it live up to your expectations? What did you think of Triple H's return as well? And what about that, having that main event as well? Just give your opinions on that. I'd like to hear your opinions on that too. So that's been it for me. You can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is Daniel_Parkin, and you can also get me on Tumblr as well, where I update regular WWE blogs. My Tumblr is Daniel Parkin. That is it from me for my Raw review of 2/21/11, and guess I'll be seeing you sometime soon. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.